Hey, I'm Liz. I'm 32 from Birmingham, Alabama, and I grew up in an amazing Christian home. I had a different kind of childhood. I went to a school of fine arts for high school, and from there I went and danced professionally with several different ballet companies, and it was very structured, very disciplined, and so when I went to college, I didn't have that discipline that I always had, and I started doing drugs, and I got addicted to the drug Oxycondonin, and I didn't know how to get off of it. I didn't know how to tell my parents, and so I tried to do it myself and started going to a methadone clinic. And while I was there, I started hanging around with the wrong group of people, and I met a guy that I became engaged to. And the longer I was with him, I just realized that he was just a really sick, twisted individual, and so I broke off the engagement. And I really have no memory of what happened, but the detectives tell me that he had called me and said he was going to kill himself if I didn't go to his house, and so I went over there. And while I was there, he gave me a drink that had the drug GHB in it, and it made me pass out. And once I did, he suffocated me and then called the paramedics and told them that I had overdosed. And the police arrived first. They checked my pupils. They were completely fixed and dilated, and they pronounced me dead on arrival. And then the paramedics got there, and because I was so young, they immediately tried to resuscitate me. But it was no use. I had no heartbeat, no oxygen to my brain. And they called my parents, and they told them immediately to come to the hospital. They wouldn't tell them what was wrong with me. And when I got there, they had told my parents that I had died. They didn't know what was going on, but they continued to work on me. I went a total of 57 minutes and 37 seconds without any heartbeat at all or any oxygen to my brain. And 2 days later, the stress that it caused on my body, or that it had on my body, caused me to have a massive heart attack. And I was on life support for 2 weeks, and they told my parents it was pointless. You know, I had gone too long without oxygen to my brain, that it was not a survivable event, that I'd be in a permanent vegetative state the rest of my life. But my parents never gave up. They kept, they continued praying for me. They never gave up. After 2 weeks, I slowly started to come to, and then I had to go to all kind of therapy. I had to go to occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, vocational therapy, learning how to walk and talk again on my own. And it took about a year, but after that, I was able to go back to college. I was a senior with a double major in anthropology and Russian history, and I tried to start back where I left off, but I couldn't. I had no memory of any of the terminology or anything, and I got so frustrated. I got mad at God. I didn't understand why he would save me and then make me suffer in school and with my memory and everything, and so I went right back to doing drugs. And and I felt even harder than I did the first time. But I knew that wasn't right. I knew that's not what God had saved me for. And I called one of my friends that had graduated the program, and she's like, if you're serious about it, we'll get you up here. And she did. And I'm just so grateful to be here because, I had so much guilt over what I had done. Like, how could God have done such a miracle in my life? And then I just, threw it back in his face. But being here, I realized, it's under the blood. I'm forgiven. And it's not about, what I've done. It's about what I'm going to do for him. Amen.